Alright, Mikey Gribble here in Lake Charles, Louisiana, waiting on Hurricane Laura. It is 4:45. We're in between bands. There's a few tornado warnings to our northeast, but right now, see, it's pretty much sunny. It's not blowing hard yet. It's not bad. It's going to get really bad though. That's actually the lake right over there. So, see, I'm not that far above the water line, maybe, I don't know, 6 feet at the base of this thing. But I'm up on the third floor of the parking garage, so I should be high enough that I'm going to be out of the storm surge. So while I had a few minutes while I was waiting for another band to move in, I figured I'd go over the equipment and what I use to go hurricane chasing. Up front is kind of the command center. I have internet coming in through 3 different sources. I carry both AT&T and Verizon. So I use it for tornado chasing too, so it's reliable. Always make sure you have coverage regardless where you're at. Nobody's going to have coverage once the towers go down out here, which they will go down. So we'll have data at least up until the main part of the storm gets here, I would assume. There's Laura right now out over the Gulf. We're right about there. That's current satellite. There's radar. That's our GPS location. You can see the eyes coming up. Right now, expect the east side of the eye wall to hit right about here in Lake Charles, which is where you get the strongest winds, the strongest storm surge. Latest National Hurricane Center forecast, I think they were calling for, it was at 947 millibar pressure. They're calling for winds to be up to 150 mile an hour sustained when it comes on shore later tonight. Storm surge is 15 to 20 feet, which is huge. This will all this area out here that I'm watching will sure be underwater, which is actually probably my biggest concern, is I'm afraid I'm going to get trapped in the flood water. But we'll see. Fortune favors the bold, so I've thought about retreating back to Beaumont, but I'm not going to. I'm going to ride it out here. I came for a storm, and I am going to put myself in the best position possible. The other equipment up here, so I run satellite so I can monitor the hurricane. Then I have radar. I have GR level 3 software on here, which is radar software. There's my GPS icon right there, so I can track myself on the map relative to the storm. I also stream video, which is, that camera right there is an interior camera for when I'm streaming. Then I have this one forward facing, and that's what's putting the picture-in-picture on there. The other cameras, there's 2 dash cameras right there in case I'm not paying attention and something happens and I'm not recording it. I have a forward facing one, I have an interior facing one, and then I actually have one more in back that is facing backwards. They're on a loop record, so that way I've lost my car windows enough time where I didn't catch it on video that I learned my lesson. I keep cameras running all the time in here now. And then the only other thing up here is the weather radio, and then of course I got my rain jacket, which is pretty much a must when you're hurricane chasing. Then in back, this is where the apartment is. There's my bed, pillow. I actually have a memory foam mattress. It's not the first time I've slept in my car, and it's way more comfortable that way. That's my primary camera. Then my camera bag, I have a bunch of other cameras, backup cameras in there, tripods down there, so just all my camera equipment. And then back here, when I'm laying in bed, there's my wet wipes. You don't get a shower out here, and the Gulf of Mexico is extremely hot and steamy, so instead of showering, you get a wipe down with those. I got a fan to help keep me cool when I sleep at night and if I get trapped here. Plus, I need white noise to sleep. If the hurricane winds don't do it for me, that fan will. This is my emergency gear rack. I keep all kinds of stuff on there that's, that you might need tools for. This is the main thing though. That has my first aid kit, that has a trauma kit, it has blood clotting stuff, it has Israeli bandages. So if something should happen, somebody gets seriously hurt or I get hurt, you're prepared to deal with it. This is just my clothes bag. This is some extra gear I keep in here for when I'm sleeping, stuff like battery backups. Got the anemometer so I can measure wind speeds and pressure when the hurricane comes in. You need plenty of water. Basically, when you come hurricane chasing, it's kind of like extreme camping. You can't depend on anybody else for any supplies, really. You got to come down here ready to go, and I go pretty heavy, so I brought enough food and water to get me by for probably a good week if I had to, 2 weeks. And honestly, if I live that long, I'm going to want to die, so that's all the supplies I need. Then in this Tupperware there, this big tote, this is where I keep all my other supplies towels, obviously need that. Have a jumper battery in here that also has a compressor on it. One big problem you have with hurricanes is flat tires. So got 4 cans of Fix a Flat. So theoretically with the spare I can fix 5 flat tires. Then I have my food. I got snacks in there, a lot of protein shakes. Try to go on a liquid diet as much as possible. I do bring some MREs, which they're not bad. They don't taste too bad. I probably won't eat them, but if I do get trapped here, it's nice to know that I have those if I need them. But I kind of don't eat much when I chase. I get kind of anxious. The one luxury I do bring is I do not go without coffee. So I brought my Jet Boil. It's got my coffee press in there, full bag of coffee. That's the one thing I will not do without. So I'm ready to go on coffee, especially because it's making landfall. Lord's gonna come on shore. The I'll hit probably around 2, 3 a.m., something like that. So it's gonna pretty much be an all-nighter, and I'll definitely need coffee to get me through it. And then other main one is gas. I have that cargo rack, and I keep 35 gallons of gas in there because everybody's trying to evacuate. All the gas stations get shut down. Basically, it's kind of that whole supply thing. It's extreme camping. You have to bring in what you need. And especially if I get trapped here, which is a distinct possibility since I'm in a low-lying area, it's nice to be able to run the air conditioner and run the car for a few days if I have to live out of it. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. So that is the gear I have to try to make it through Hurricane Laura, and possibly a few days afterwards sleeping in a parking garage. Thanks.